Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. Greetings of peace and good morning to each and everyone. It's my pleasure sharing you one of my significant professional life in search for education, peace, and development. The Young Muslim Leadership Training Program. The Young Muslim Leadership Training Program was organized by Center for Dialogue, La Trobe University, in coordination with Islamic Council of Victoria, supported by the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade and the State Government of Victoria. Australia is one of the richest continents in the world, but like any other, it also faces many challenges, but nothing more important than that of making their society one, which values and nurtures its rich cultural and religious diversity. Australia's Muslim communities, representing one of the world's great religious traditions, have much to contribute. Muslims have been integral to Australia's development since early settlement. In recent years, much has been said about looming clash of civilization between Islam and the West. The war on terror is being fought mainly in nations where Islam is the majority religion. Australian Muslims have themselves been subjected to powerful pressures and often less than flattering media attention. The program sees that there is a need for young Muslim leaders to emerge who can speak clearly and confidentially about the various issues which confront people of Islamic faith in Australia today, and who can participate fully in shaping Australia and global future. From my 2-month experiences in Australia, I learned a lot in terms of dialogue. That is, emphasizing the importance of dialogue and bringing people together of different faith and beliefs, not only of religion, but of perceptions about the global issues, and how understanding and sharing these beliefs will contribute to the global understanding, peace, and development. Viewing terrorism as the highlight of the struggle of Muslims in many parts of the world, the design part of the program is the discussion about the Southeast Asian regions and their responses on war on terror, or after the September 11 event, as well as the other bombings in some parts of the world. We particularly discussed about responses from Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines. After then, Muslims being suspected of terrorism or act of terror have been the center in the eyes of every other faith, negatively and or positively, subject of policies and others. However, after discussing issues of Southeast Asian region, I'd like also to share, it is sad but important to note that many, if not all people of Australia, or Victoria in particular, are blind, ignorant of the situation of Muslim in Mindanao or in Philippines as a whole. Also, part of the program is the Middle East Conference, which we tackled about Middle East's prospect of peace, stressed out the issue of Israel and Palestine, wherein we invited Jewish and Palestinian speakers who knowledgeably talked about their experiences and studies about their issues. There were discrepancies in their talking points as the rabbi speaks its own version of the stories, and Palestine and the Palestinian speakers does either. This has brought us further to understand more, find out the realities of the situations. We also discuss about Iran's nuclear weapon and Iraq's disputes, and the intervention made by the United States in Iraq. Along, we learned the participation of many other countries in U.S. interventions to Iraq. In all these issues, intractable conflict of Middle East and the other countries, we also explore possibilities out of Obama's effort and aspiration for global peace. We've been exposed to different community dialogues, to Canberra, the Australia state's capital, states leaders, to the federal parliament, and Middle East ambassadors, and many others. We also had the chance to meet different Muslim personalities, leaders in Sydney, and they talked and discussed about leadership, particularly servant leadership, and the importance of understanding, listening and understanding with respect may it be of different faiths.
Really underlies to a lot of issues not just in the Muslim community.
In general, what inspired me most is their utmost efforts in terms of understanding, interfaith understanding or dialogue, and how were they able to build a functional or a working network of these different faiths that you can always or really count on in times of crisis. I mean, in facing different or various critical issues that may involve issues of faith. And developing young leaders with the emphasis on the use of dialogue as a tool, as a method, or as a strategy in attaining or having a strong foundation of leadership. These times, to compare with, Philippines in general, with the socio-political dynamics of Muslim in Australia, I saw a lot of difference. Australia's Muslims are being respected and understood as they are, and as it should really be. At first, Australia being a first world, I never thought of having such a good relationship between and among faiths. But then I realized that a prerequisite, or if not, one of the major requirements for peace and development is understanding, recognition, and respect between and among different faiths. As I believe in the philosophy of dialogue that says, no culture, no religious traditions, or civilization holds a monopoly of ethical discourse, and that there are lots of important differences that contribute to dialogue. I'm Ayn Makakena,